So this is a animated radio collared bear that got moved up into the Purcell Mountains. This is the Purcell Mountains of the Rockies, and he's trying to move himself back across to the Rocky Mountains. And you can see his path. And he finally worked across the mountains down here, just north of Columbia Lake. It'll all make sense more and more. And these yellow shaded areas are predicted corridors of some work I did in 2015. And so anyway, the bear moved across the northern part of Columbia Lake, and now he's just about to den up here in Kootenay National Park. It's kind of cool. And you'll note the colors of the dots relate to the months that he's there. And he's just about to switch over from 2022. Oops, now we're in 23. So he's come out of the den. He's moving around again, and he's actually headed over to this other corridor. That's pretty cool. So my friends, when they started seeing this, thought that I had actually put a drone on a radio collar, and we call this the drone bear because he crossed through so many interesting places and went through these corridors we predicted. The data predicting these corridors was done sort of far away. So I'm going to move on to the next slide just because it gets more interesting. And so we're going to do a little close-up of this area down by the Columbia wetlands, excuse me, the Columbia Lake. And we're going to have the same kind of thing. Now, here's the bear coming into this area, and he's moving along. The black dots are human buildings. The colored things are different ownerships of conservation properties in the area. So you can see there's a pretty rich conservation landscape here. So the bear's sort of trying to figure out, how am I going to get across this valley? But he's doing a very good job of avoiding people. This is sort of an unusually smart bear who had it together. And so now he crossed. And I'd like to point out this piece of land right here was just recently purchased by the Nature Trust of BC for this purpose, for landscape connectivity down in this wetland. So it's a pretty cool little story what these guys, what this bear did. And the reason I'm showing you all this is in the beginning is this is landscape connectivity. This is what we're trying to accomplish. This is the bear, my drone bear, working in our favor here. So it's a pretty cool story to see it in action. And you know, and I'm just going to shoot to a Google Earth view of this. This is a big subdivision of people living along the lake. And north here we have the Fairmont Hot Springs and an airport and a bunch of humanity in this valley. And this bear had figured out this wetlands complex to decide where to cross. So it's pretty interesting story to start this thing, but this is really what this talk is about. On the ground, this is what it looks like down there in those wetlands. It's a pretty cool place in the middle of a human settled valley, the headwaters of the Columbia River.